As you well know, the foreclosure crisis continues to threaten millions of homes across the nation.
But while so many homeowners face the terrible prospect of losing their homes, millions of renters have also been evicted in the foreclosure crisis.
Yeah, that's right. And 7 on Your Side's Michael Finney is here to explain the strong new laws to protect tenants caught up in this.
Yeah, you know, a lot of tenants really don't know about this. Imagine coming home to your apartment, and there's a huge sign on it that says foreclosure. It's scary, and it's happening to millions of renters, many of whom have been evicted during this crisis. However, what many don't realize is there are strong protections that can keep tenants in their homes long after the landlord is gone. This is the view from the apartment Joe Pei and Gretchen Zimmerman rent in San Francisco. It's one of the main reasons they love this place.
I love the view. I love where it is. I love that it's on Twin Peaks Hill.
They also love the full kitchen, built-in office, and large, airy living room. There's just one problem. The bank just foreclosed on this place.
When I came home, there was just a big sign on the house. I was like, okay, what is this going to mean for us next?
Joe and Gretchen worried the foreclosure could mean their one-year lease was no good, and they were headed for eviction. However, it turns out tenants in foreclosures are in a much better position now than they may realize.
So the law is a little bit more, shall we say, a little bit kinder to tenants than it used to be.
Former Superior Court Judge David Garcia is a mediator who wrote a book on landlord and tenants' rights. He points to a federal law passed during the height of the foreclosure crisis, protecting tenants from sudden eviction.
It's one thing for the owners of the property to be displaced, who are the ones that are defaulting on the loans. It's another thing for people who are innocent, shall we say, who have bona fide rental agreements.
The federal act says tenants must receive 90 days' notice before eviction. Also, renters can stay in their homes at least until the end of their leases unless a new owner wants to move in. In cities with rent controls like San Francisco, there are even more protections.
Most tenants, of course, are pretty scared, and they think that they, in fact, have to move, that it's a bank. A bank owns my building now, and so far too many tenants unnecessarily have moved out.
That's Ted Gullickson of the San Francisco Tenants Union. He says many renters don't realize their rights were actually strengthened because of the foreclosure crisis. In addition to the federal act, San Francisco passed a new law saying banks, if foreclose on a residential building, cannot evict the tenants who continue paying rent. Even if the building is sold, the new owners must abide by the city's tough rent control laws. In most cases, new owners may only evict if they intend to move into a particular unit or if the tenant breaches the rental agreement. Which brings us back to Joe and Gretchen. They have a one-year lease and the unit is rent controlled, so it would take a lot to evict them. Even so, they had a very close call, all because they had no idea who should receive the rent payment after foreclosure.
Further notice came in the form of a courier ringing our doorbell last Thursday.
They were handed a 3-day notice from the bank saying pay rent or get out. Joe sent a check by overnight mail right away.
So hopefully we're in good shape. Yeah, that's all a little scary too.
Many cities, including Berkeley, Oakland, and East Palo Alto, have their own rent control laws that can protect tenants from sudden eviction. You can find out more information on your rights during a foreclosure by going to abc7news.com. Just look under 7 on your side. You are not alone in this.
Yeah, there are protections out there.
Absolutely.
Michael,
good to know.
Sure.